Hi, this is Glenn Simpson, and I've collected comics for over 40 years, and I'm showing off my collection one box at a time. Today, we're going through box number 22. We're going to finish up Batman Volume 1. We're going to go through the New 52 Batman, and we're going to get into the Rebirth Batman series. I'm glad you're here. Thanks so much. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. If there's anything in the packages where they're packaged together, but you'd like to see something that would theoretically be inside the package, let me know. I'll make a special video just for that. And pitter patter, let's get at her. All right, picking up where we left off last time, we are at Batman 597. Still got Scott McDaniel doing covers and artwork. So it was a fun time. And then we're going to jump to number 600, big round number. Started the Bruce Wayne fugitive. He got framed for a murder he did not commit. Oops, sorry. Put the camera there. 601 continues Bruce Wayne fugitive. Right there. Can't remember who that is. Seems to be a fire dude, but I can't remember who that is. Then we go to 604. Batman with the whole concept of the reason he used to have the yellow is because that's that was the armored part. So kind of a throwback to that. On Batman 604. Let's see. 605. Got this dude, whom I don't remember who it is. Is that Bruce in disguise? Can't remember. But it's more of the Bruce Wayne fugitive part thing. We're on part 18, so this was a big, multi-book storyline, the Bruce Wayne fugitive. And then we go to 607 with Deadshot. Shot dead. Death of Deadshot. I'm sure he stayed dead, right? There. And then quite momentously, given current new publishing stuff, we go to Batman 608. This is my original copy. We start the Hush storyline with Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee. So that's the first cover. I remember being really excited about this, just being a Jim Lee fan, and how clear and crisp his art is. Put them in the box as we go, and they're sliding around. 609. That issue. Only problem I had with this was, well, we'll get to it in a second. We've got still part of Hush right there. 610. Sorry. There we go. 610. Batman versus Croc. So I guess now we could say part of what I didn't like about it is Loeb was taking a lot of liberties with continuity and how things had been presented before. He's got Croc as this sort of monster swamp guy when previously he had been just kind of a crime lord, not necessarily a monster, just an ugly crime lord, kind of like Two-Face. So, but there's that. And then 611. Sorry, distracted. We've got continuing that story. We got Catwoman getting involved again. Right there. Got 612. So another minor issue I had. I just don't know that I believe that Poison Ivy could affect Superman. But it made for a good story to believe that his super brain could fall for her pheromones. He can inhale, large amounts of Joker gas and not be affected. We've got Batman 613, continuing that storyline. Got Harley Quinn showing up. Kind of an early-ish Harley Quinn. Continues all through 617. We're in the graveyard. Wonder whose grave he's digging up. Clue would be in 618 right there. This is featuring what is thought to be the return of Jason Todd right there. And then, of course, that ends, and then we jump into the Broken City crossover with which was Brian Azzarello. I was on this, especially coming out of that nice, crisp and straightforward, relatively speaking, previous storyline. But we've got the Penguin on display here. Got 623, Part 4, Broken City, right there. And then we're out of that. We're into 630, Matt Wagner, formerly of Grendel, doing some covers. Good stuff right there. 631, we begin the War Games. Right there. Showing off with Bill Willingham doing the writing. And Batman becoming an outlaw in 634. Which brings us to a big boy book. Jason Todd back as the Red Hood here in Batman 635 by Judd Winnick. Got Dark Black Mask here in Batman 636. They're sticking. Got Batman and Nightwing teaming up against Amazo, or Amazo as I used to call it in my head as a kid. That doesn't seem like a safe battle, but I guess they get through it. 638, Batman finding out who the Red Hood really is. Right there. 639, Batman in the graveyard, grave consequences. 646, I guess now we're kind of getting into Red Hood, being Red Hood and doing Red Hood-like things. We're defining that, he's going to be the bat person who uses guns and kills and shoots criminals or whatever. 647 right there. Got Jock cover art. Lots of people like Jock. 654. We're jumping into James Robinson doing art, bringing back Tim Drake, Simone Bianchi doing artwork. Pretty stuff. 655. We've got Grant Morrison coming on. So this is I think that's why this is a big boy book. It's first Grant Morrison Batman. Might be the first Damian Wayne. I should really put labels on these. But got that storyline. A lot of people, when they first start reading Batman, this is a good point to start. And if they've never read it before, that was 655. 656. Versus an army of man-bats. Honestly, I kind of like the idea that there's more than one man-bat, because I always feel like they jumped around on Kirk Langstrom, deciding what kind of personality he has and whether he's a good guy, a neutral guy, a bad guy. So I like the fact that they just pretty much admitted, yeah, the formula is out, so that some of those appearances can be not necessarily the real man-bat. We got 657 with Damian being Damian. And then we've got 660, we've jumped over to Grant Morrison is out for a few issues, I guess, and Batman is written by John Ostrander and Tom Mandrake, who are the team from Spectre previously. So that's Batman 660. Let's see, and then 661 continues this grotesque storyline from Ostrander and Mandrake. By 665, we're back into Morrison and Kubert telling their Batman stories. 666 is the first, I believe, first appearance of Damian as Batman, you know, in the future, dealing with some supernatural stuff there. Cape, you don't wear no stinking cape. 667, Grant Morrison bringing back the lead, you know, the Batman of all nations, which will become Batman Inc. Right there. 674, got Tony Daniel coming on to draw. He may have already come on to draw somewhere previous, but good stuff right there. Wait a minute, hang on. This is kind of funny. I never noticed this before. It's pretty much the same head. There's not a lot of difference there. Anyway. Same mouth anyway. Same head. 675. Beauty shot by Tony Daniel. We get into Batman R.I.P. Got Alex Ross doing covers. This is kind of the earliest I remember him starting to do like every month, like doing monthly covers. Prior to that, Alex Ross seemed like you got him for like special projects. But I'm not hating it. 678. Yes, he draws Batman. His Batman looks a little older, but you know, at this point, his Batman probably should look a little older if he's a modern Batman. 679. Another beauty shot from Alex Ross. It helps that Alex Ross looks like he wasn't really too worried about what was actually going on in the actual story, so he could get ahead, you know. 685. We take a little break. We've got Paul Dini. Faces of Evil. I think, you know, we've had the death of Batman. Well, we were just looking at all the Batman R.I.P. stuff. So Batman is dead. And we've got a few odds and ends coming in. We got Paul Dini doing a Catwoman. These Faces of Evil were little stories. Some of them were one shots. Some of them were within series, just kind of reminding everybody who the villains are. We've got Neil Gaiman and Andy Kubert doing Whatever Happened to the Caped Crusader, kind of an allusion to whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow, which was the last sort of pre-Crisis Superman story. So this is kind of saying, you know, as if Batman was going to be gone forever, something similar to that. All the villains kind of commiserating on Batman. But you know what? Guess what? Batman's reborn, but it's Dick Grayson. So, you know, I'll tell you how you can tell it's Dick Grayson in a minute. If you don't remember, Batman 689. Nice little Andy Kubert thing there. We go to 690. And if his buckle is an actual bat, it's Dick Grayson. So far, he's the only time that I know of that his buckle was an actual bat. So if you're wondering if you're looking at Dick Grayson Batman versus otherwise, we got Mark Bagley coming in to do some DC art there. Cool. So part of Batman Reborn. And 696. Continuing that storyline. It looks like Penguin got his hands on some Mad Hatter tech, and it's going after Batman there. And 696 and $6.97. Going up against Black Mask. That would be, of course, Dick Grayson. Doing that. And 700, giant-sized anniversary issue. I think that's David Finch. Yeah, Finch artwork on that cover. That's pretty iconic right there. That looks good on your wall. Let's see, 701. R.I.P. The Missing Chapter. So the trick is, Batman died in the Final Crisis. No, I'm sorry. Batman died over here, but then he also was around for Final Crisis, where he died again. So it was all a bit disorganized, as Grant Morrison tends to be sometimes. So this was an attempt to say, well, he didn't really die. If I remember correctly, he didn't really die in Batman R.I.P. This is how he survived that, so that he could then go to Final Crisis and die there. So that's 701. By 708, David Hine has come on to write. Got getting into some of the Azrael mythology there. I'm tapping the book to focus, like that helps. Let's see. 7, we're closing in. We're at the point where they knew the New 52 is coming, and so we don't care what you do. More Azrael mythology stuff there. And the series ends with 713, with a little bit of an all-star book there. Got both Batman, Red Robin, Damian, Robin, all teaming up. Numerically speaking, we've got Batman 1 million right there. Part of the 1 million storyline. Going through all of DC. Then we get to the annuals. I don't have any of like the classic annuals. I'll just kind of go back to 80s. We got Batman annual number 8. It's a Ra's al Ghul storyline, if I remember correctly. And then this little pack jumps to number 11 with a John Byrne cover, and Batman dealing with Clayface. Let's call it Clayface 3 and the Penguin. I think it was separate stories. And we've got annual 12. Kind of I think it was just like a basic Batman story, and then a Private Lives story, so kind of a day in the life. That was what was going on in all these annuals this year. Good classic art. Mike. Oh, God, Mike. Hang on. Kaluta, sorry. And then we'll jump over to Batman. Focus. Close enough. Batman annual 15, part of the Armageddon 2001. Kind of a future story of Batman, possible future. Got Batman 16, Eclipso taking over lots of people in the annuals that year. Then we go to issue 19, where every annual that year was a year one story, an early story of the character. I think he was doing his first fight with Scarecrow here. Issue 20. We've got this was the Legends of the Dead Earth year. So kind of a possible future, way future. Earth is left way behind kind of thing, and yet somehow things repeat themselves. We've got 24 with another Kaluta, Mike Kaluta, now that I've got it on top of my brain. Planet DC, every issue introducing a new international hero, including the Bogart from from England. Right there. Or Bogart. We got Batman Annual 25. I believe cover by Jock. Kind of telling, I think, a little more detail on how Red Hood came back from the dead. And the last one, Batman Annual number 28, featuring some international heroes from right before they go to the New 52. So good stuff right there. Let me grab these from where I put them. So now we go into the New 52. So we've got the issue 0 for the New 52 Batman. Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo. Very well. Another good starting place for a lot of people ought to get into, which is the Court of Owls, which starts actually in issue 1. It's a kind of a big boy book, very popular book. We've got issue 2 right there. Fighting the Court of Owls. Got issue 5. Probably the first appearance of a Talon, somewhere in there. Just the concept in general of the Talons as foot soldiers of the Court of Owls. Issue 6. This does not actually happen in the story. I think he has some hallucinations or whatever. But showing Batman dealing with his physical transformation represents his mental feelings about the blah blah blah. Anyway, we've got issue 7, continuing the Court of Owls, I believe. We've got Claws. So we got a Talon. Must be Court of Owls, Glenn. Good stuff right there. Issue 10. We, I believe, are almost there. He has got a Court of Owls mask there. What more could he need to achieve victory? And issue 11, the epic finale of the Court of Owls. So it's only taken us 11 issues to beat the Court of Owls right there. And then we jump to issue 14. We're into the next big storyline, Death of the Family. Just a lot Joker does some stuff that generates some mistrust within the Batman family. Got Joe's garage there on the back of his thing. Death of the Family 15. Joker getting into Batman's brain, as he does. Issue 19. It's got a fold-out cover. Don't remember. I think it's Joe Chill on the guy who killed Batman's parents on the other side of the gun there. Issue 20. Batman getting into having some. I don't know if he's hallucinating or if he's fighting Clayface there, but somehow he's fighting him, Bruce Wayne. That goes to 24. We get into the Batman. We're in the Batman 0 year, retelling his origin, his first year as Batman. Right there. We took a moment. Everything took a month there to. These are shiny. That's why they're shiny. Did the 0.1 issues with the holographic plastic covers. There's a whole story about how they were shorthand. They there weren't enough of this. There wasn't enough plastic to make as many books as were ordered, and so then they had to allocate to comic book stores, and it was all a big drama. But we've got 23.1 here, and it goes through 23.4, just kind of retelling the origins of these characters. We've got this. Oh, this is actually the high contrast that I used to make this video. These videos is coming out really good. You can actually read that very dark writing. So yeah, this is just kind of an all black cover, part of the 0 year storyline. I guess that is 25. And then we have finished that by the time we get to 28, and we're getting a little preview into the Batman Eternal, which was going to be the first New 52 weekly series. And then we go to 29. No, wait, sorry, we weren't done with 0 year. We just were taking a little break, and now we're back, and in here in 29, and the Riddler is clearly getting involved in 0 year. And then in 32, we've begun the final act of 0 year. Right there, they tend to jump around on the Riddler. Riddler is another one of those characters. They can't make up their mind. Is he cool? Is he not cool? You know, can he take a punch? Is he a little wimp? Just kind of can't make up their mind on that. And then in 33, the finale of 0 year, purple gloves and everything. Good stuff. And we go to this is a variant cover for Batman 38. This was celebrating 75 years of The Flash. So he was kind of running his way through all sorts of other classic covers. So couldn't tell you what's actually going on in the issue because, you know, the cover's no hint. But there's that variant cover right there. You can see that. Got 39, Harley Quinn variant cover series for that month. And she's hugging her Batman pillow. And then we've got issue 44, which was a Green Lantern 75th anniversary variant cover. So he's on the covers. He's showing up and hanging out with all of the different heroes. Let's see. 45. It's one of those monsters of the month, where the hero variants, where the hero looks like is turned into a monster. Right there. 48 was the adult coloring book cover variant month for DC. So you could buy this and you could color it yourself if you so wanted. And then, hang on, sorry, bear with me. This batch, which was Neil Adams doing homages to his old covers, but using things that looked like the modern storylines. Walt Simonson, hey, I just noticed that, doing inks on that cover. Cool. And 52, Batman 52 of New 52, homage cover. So these variants were where the newer artist did an homage to the artist on the very first issue. As if you'll rewind this video, you will see. And they had a couple of annuals. Annual 1 was kind of retelling the origin of Mr. Freeze for the New 52. This used to be a big boy book, and then it eventually kind of settled down. This might be the one where we found out he wasn't really married to Nora. She wasn't really his wife or something like that. I don't but that used to be a high-priced book that came down. And issue number, Batman Annual number 4, right there, just kind of a beauty shot of Batman. And we go to, then we jump into Rebirth with Batman teaming up with, what was it, Gotham, the hero Gotham, and Gotham Girl. We're kind of like Superman-ish, Supergirl-ish figures there, but their powers were out of control. He's trying to help them. That's issue 1. Issue 4. That's it. And this is, of course, when Tom King is writing. He's coming on Batman. Different people differ on how they feel about that. His writing. Got issue 5. Continuing Tom King. Some hallucination going. No, that's Gotham right there. Not because, which, you know, that should knock Batman's head off, because Gotham is like Superman's strength. And then this I Am Suicide arc that went on. King, Mike Janin, another classic Batman artist, right there. Not classic, but, you know, classic as in he became known for it. He did it for a while. How about that? Batman going back up against Bane, part of that storyline. And Batman 13, and that storyline is still going on in Batman 20. Right there, David Finch. I like David Finch's art. I don't hate it. Little interlude in Tom King's ongoing stuff. Well, he's still writing, but kind of a throwback to the whole Flashpoint thing. And a throw forward to the Doomsday Clock, some interaction between the main DC universe and the Watchmen universe, and we're going to find out there were some influences from that universe that led to this universe. And we've got Batman 24, some lovey-dovey stuff there with Catwoman. We got issue 25, beginning the War of Jokes and Riddles. This was set in the past, a big war between the Joker and the Riddler, and again we're going to see sort of sexy Riddler in here. There we go, sexy red-haired Irishy Riddler. There in issue 28. Continuing in issue 29. All the villains dividing up based on who they want to side with in this war between the Joker and the Riddler. Batman caught in between. Batman 33, we're now getting into something I think is in a modern setting. Rules of engagement, right there. But he is wearing the whole goggles and jacket thing, so he's kind of got that Zack Snyder Batman future-y kind of look to him. Batman 34. Batman 37, we've got a little double date. This is a popular issue. Batman and Catwoman going on a double date with Superman and Lois. Over on the Superman side of things, you know, they've been going through this whole new Superman, new 52 Superman, old Superman, and I think it's all been smoothed out at this point. So now we're back to just, you know, Superman and Batman are pals. We go to 38. A little bit of got some Tim Sale art for Long Halloween, coming in to do an issue or an arc here. No, I'm sorry, just doing a cover. Then we've got issue 41. Batman dealing with Poison Ivy, who is, more of a threat outside when she's less of a threat when she's with Harley Quinn, but more of still a pretty big threat when she's not with Harley Quinn. Let's see, we got 42. So this time she's not just taking over Superman, she's taking over the whole friggin' Justice League. That's some powerful stuff right there, Poison Ivy. And 45, so Batman is proposed to Catwoman, and Booster Gold has decided to, for some bizarre reason, alter time such that Batman's parents weren't killed, but then stick Batman in that world. I don't know. I didn't really kind of follow this very well. What the deal was here. I just buy them and read them. I don't pretend to understand them sometimes. But that continues in 46. Right there. Oops. And then we've got Batman 52. Batman versus Bruce Wayne. Don't remember what was up with that. Cold Day. Is it Cold Day? Yeah, Cold Days. So maybe not sure what's going on there. And then last pack for this box, we've got Batman 53. Dark Knight No More. I'm not doing it ever again. I'm giving it up for Catwoman. And this glowy, foily Batman number 56 beauty shot right there. All right, that was box number 22. We'll do box 23 next time. We'll finish up. We'll get caught up on Batman, and we'll get into the Batman and series. So I hope you'll join. I hope you enjoyed this, and have a good day.